Thank you, Zoom.
Yeah, hello everyone. Very good evening and warm welcome to you all. I'm happy to welcome you all to this 23rd Insight View series. It's been a tremendous experience for us to start plan this Insight View series as one of the major program to give knowledge to the industry. So we are very happy that it is becoming one of the regular program where our members are getting benefited. So today we have a wonderful speaker. Where he's going to give you his thoughts on winning through distribution. So hope you all enjoy this program. Over to you, Suraj.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy to see a lot of you back in the room. Thank you so much to Ranju for taking the time out, first of all, for this session. And this is one of the unique sessions where we've not had a speaker come and talk about distribution, which is pivotal in most businesses. And you've been a great success in that space and started your own brand. I think before I take too much time, I'd like to introduce Ranju to the room. So Ranju is currently building All India FMCG company IKIGROW, which is crafting joyful experiences with its brands in personal care and air care. Established a successful boutique hotel in Tinsukia. Also mentoring startups and coaching people to build their company brand and personal brand. Prior to this, was president, CEO of multinational and Indian companies Ansell, McNROE, Henkel. Ranju always built high growth, sustainable, and profitable businesses, established consumer and healthcare brands in 27 categories in laundry, home care, air care, sexual wellness, cosmetics, toiletries, and medical in India, Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia. He built several number one brand in their niches, built rupees 1 billion plus deodorant brand, soap, dishwashing brand, built rupees 2.5 billion plus detergent brand and B2B business. Honored with several business, marketing, and leadership awards, and also been jury and chairman of several awards and events, and a postgraduate from IIM Ahmedabad. And something that all of you should know, he is also the past president of the Advertising Club of Madras, and we're very, very happy to have Ranju on this day and time today. Over to you, Ranju.
Thank you, Suraj. Thank you, Bala. I think it's always interesting to get in touch with Chennai. I say Chennai is always a different country. And that's what makes it interesting. So people think it's India is one. I say, no, there is a small piece of the country which is different and you need to do things differently. Yeah, otherwise it will never work. The beauty lies in being different, and India in that context always there. So when I'm touching this topic, before I touch further, today I was just looking at the brands which exist, which I have worked in last 30 years. Their turnover would be around 2,600 odd crores today. So it's a big, today valuation, if I take 10 times, it's a 26,000 crore business valuation, which got established either through launches, relaunches, or creations, or whatever it may be. And so there is some amount of some DNA signature in the brands, whether it is Prill, Henko, Kama Sutra, McNROE, Wildstone. So all that I had a very interesting phase of my life. And last 10 years of my life was spent in Chennai, where I built a Henkel brands from cosmetics to detergents and laundry care and home care. So I think quite a plethora of experiences. So then when I decided to become an entrepreneur, I said, when I've created so much value, just when I was going through, Godrej bought that Kama Sutra brand for both the companies for 28, out of which they must have paid 1,500 crore for a company, which was only 43 crores when I joined that company. Turnover, I'm saying. So, and built a deodorant brand, which became 250 crores KS deodorant number one brand in the country without large quantum of advertising, but smart marketing plus good communication and in-store distribution model. And that's what gave me encouragement that any business is built on ecosystem. So I'll quickly move through few slides and then we will have question and answer session. I'll not be able to cover. I'm not a distribution guy. I'm more business guy than distribution expert. So there'll be some things which will be new, something which you find, and more FMCG oriented. First and foremost, I say there are 1.2 crore retailers in India, which means 5 to 6 crore people are dependent on this business and their livelihood. So when someone says it is going to die, it means even if I assume 3 crore voters, it's a huge number who can influence any constituency. So this will get protected come what may, and this will coexist with whatever business model that comes over in India next, at least up to 10 years. And India was by default the largest number of retailers in Asian countries. Almost 48% of the retailers in Asia is in India. So that's the kind of what you call retail outlets. And they'll say they play a significant share of the game, depending on categories, anything between 60 to 80% share of market happens to this retail outlet. So they will continue. They will, even though a lot of discussion happening with quick commerce, but one change in the rule, then the platform changes. So you never know what government will do in next, because this important constituency, if they suffer, it will not happen. So to me, this will exist, and it's an opportunity because everybody thinks this will die. The first question someone asked me, will they coexist? We have seen a lot of write-ups about what happened to Mama Earth because they were very successful in e-commerce, but they were not making money. So they decided to, last 3 years, they were trying to build a business of retail. And last 2 quarters, they lost a lot of money because they had to take in stock. Because model of retail is a challenging one. You have to be perfect more than normal in about how to go about doing business. Our sales team in this country are very, very smart. For 1 year to 2 years, you will never know what's happening before you realize that actually sales has not really happened and stuck in pipeline. So one has to be very careful in while building a business of retail, which I said category may have anything between 60 to 80% share of the category. Bombay Shaving Company is another example I'll give. They have made 2 attempts already. Now they're making the 3rd attempt to enter retail, because without retail, you don't get value profit accretive. Retail only gives you profitability. Yes, people are now talking about quick commerce giving you profit because you are able to bypass some of the channels, but how far it will go, only time will tell. So I will go through my journey in my entrepreneurship, how I have built brand in last 3 years to where I am today. So how are we winning the game of FMCG, which has Godrej, O'Donnell, and Fog, and all the big players, Unilever in deodorants, and still an upstart like me is working on the game by doing the most difficult job first, which is distribution. Distribution in retail. The basic thought is company today creates customer creates brand, and brand sustain company. The previous was company build brands, and brands go to consumers, and then brand and the consumers sustain that. So it is reversed, the cycle is reversed. So customers today build brand, and in our case, I put one more angle to it. Here customer is not the consumer. Here customer, also retailer, plays a very, very important role to build brand. And that's the leverage I had used in building IKIGROW business. brands grow by being meaningfully different to more people. So otherwise you will never become a brand. Otherwise you can be a small brand in a small place. So what is meaningful? So what we did was to try and create small categories, be number one, be market leader in the subcategories and grow the subcategories. How you are going to be different is you create a new story and new moments to build brands. So I'll reflect on that as I go along. And how does distribution channel help you to build business? Because it's the way you reach your customers. So without reaching your customers, whichever way, it can be physical, it can be digital, it can be direct, whichever. I say, people ask me, what are you doing? I said in a route to D2A. What is D2A? I said direct to anywhere. Wherever my customers are, I will reach them. Maybe not today. I start from the physical world of retail. Then I will do e-commerce, which is presently going to happen. And then I'm building my own e-commerce website, which is about to happen, and then do institution. So as and when I grow in next 1.5 years, I'll be on different channels of business, but strong in one where I make my profitable growth. In any our FMCG journey cycle is factory, goes to CFA, distributor, and from distributor, it goes to secondary sale, either through own store, exhibition, retail, e-commerce, and then which is counted as offtake. That's the typical model of FMCG product or OTC. I will dwell more on this because that's my domain and that's my domain of expertise and which I understand better. Today, there is a proliferation. Started with traditional retail, modern trade. There are specialist store. What does this specialist store means? There are puja outlets, right? There are outlets which only sells to institutions, multi-level marketing, exhibition and mela. You can sell e-commerce platforms, which are all the big ones. Then you have e-commerce of your own and e-commerce through Facebook, Insta, and then what the emerging on is quick commerce. In all this paradox, the interesting thing is whenever modern trade came, we always said, I think that's 25, 30 years back, modern trade will kill traditional channel. But it has not happened. Modern trade reached certain level of turnover, some categories may be up to 25, 30%. And then slid back with the emergence of e-commerce. The e-commerce like Amazon, Flipkart also did the same. They, in some categories, they reached 25, 30%. Now, the combination of modern trade and e-commerce together will be still, in many of the categories, will be 20 to 30%. Now, quick commerce, everybody is saying it will take up the business. What we see is the changes that is happening in cities. But is quick commerce killing retail? Some categories, it is making it challenging, but it is more than it. It is doing what harm it is doing is for the e-commerce, bigger platforms like Amazon. So Amazon will be a slow mover, but now they will again, all will become from e-commerce platforms to will become quick commerce in the major cities. And that translates into what brand, how much. Some will be smarter, some will integrate the local outlets, which we call the dark stores, or the outlets become the dark stores. All that is a continuum, and that change is a continuous process and it's going to happen. So how does the brand play a role when this kind of changes happen in the industry? I think brands, when it gives value to your consumers, much more than the price, will continue to play its role. The other models are distribution, so you will have to find your ways to be there in that particular channel. Like us, we are in traditional channel, we are starting modern trade. We are there in the specialist stores of puja because the products we have, not in MLN, not in e-commerce platforms. So even though I am present in Amazon, I'm present in Flipkart, I'm present in ONDC, only 0.5% of my turnover comes from this business. But I foresee in next 1.5 years, maybe 10% of my turnover will come from the digital e-commerce model, including quick commerce, depending on the type of category and portfolio. So I say sales to win is what I call the sniper approach. You must be very clear who are you targeting. If you are not clear, do whatever you want to do, you will not be successful. And that's what is very clear. I say there are 4 types of customers, especially in retail, which one is dangerous customers, one is best winning customers, one is convenience customers, and amazing A, B, C, D customers. So the best return you get is the best winning who buys because of your relationship. Amazing is they don't ask anything but buys and takes less effort. Dangerous is one who will bargain on price and make it into a commodity. And convenience is what is convenient, like quick commerce is convenience, but returns will be less for you. So you will have to choose your right channel. I say, what do you do when your type of customers? So this matrix works well for us because Pareto loss is very clear. In FMCG, 30% of the outlets will give you 60 to 70% of your turnover of a particular category. So handle it well, understand that well. If you do that well, you always have a fair chance of winning the game. So what is our sales script as an organization? One is very simple. It is KISS principle. Now, what is this KISS? It is not real KISS. It is keep it simple for the salesperson. What it means, in a traditional distribution system, everything is dependent on the salesperson work or feet on street working in the market, which is normally a distributor salesperson beside your company salesperson. Now, if it's a distributor salesperson, then he will be 10th or 12th pass. So moment you make a very complex story of your product, he will find it extremely difficult to tell. And as and when your portfolio increases, forget about selling the portfolio, he will focus on 1, 1, 2, which he achieves success. So it is very, very important to keep in mind that your story has to be understood well by the salesperson in the retail distribution level. So if he understands your story, then you have a better chance of success because he is your brand ambassador in the marketplace. He talks about your product all day, all night, whenever he gets a chance to the retailer who ultimately sells to your customer. So in this model, you have to keep it simple. If you don't keep it simple, you will fail. So I say keep it simple for sales is very important. So what we did, we took a knowledge from the boxing, which is unboxing of Apple. I said, if your box tells the story, then you don't need to worry. So we created simple boxes, which are 3 fragrances. We call it fragrance of nature, scent of nature. And we had 3 fragrances, which is Indian in character. It is Loban, Saffron plus Sandal and Camphor. We call it scent of India. So moment you put the story and give it to the retailer, they open the box, they unbox and smells it. He will like it and like the story and start keeping the brand. So we created what we call unboxing in FMCG. Then from there, we created unboxing in the store visibility for our product individually. So when you need visibility, this product gives you visibility without any cost. Because end of the day, customers comes and he has to see your product. The more they see, the more they like, and the more the possibility of buyout happens. So I use knowledge of other electronic or other categories and use it in FMCG. I think if you ask me, people may say, what's the cost of this box? It's 5 rupees. When you put a poster, it is 3 rupees. But what it does, while the salesman goes and sells, he doesn't have to tell a story. The box itself tells the story of the category. So you don't have to tell anything. So the more simpler you make, the simplify the storytelling, the chances of success in retail is higher. I hope I'm not going at very fast pace. Is it okay with my pace?
Yeah, Ranju, you're fine.
Yeah, okay. So this is one which has given us a lot of success. The second is When you put your product in outlets, it is very expensive. Normally, when I was in 25 to 20 years back, when we used to be working in Henkel, we used to pay retail outlets money to keep our products. But when you craft stories, they coordinate, they cooperate with you, and you don't have to pay money. You can use airspace, which is on the right, and Independence Day colorful visibility is a free of cost. So you get it FOC. Otherwise, it can be humongous in terms of planning. Normally, I still remember my old days, 20 years back, when you launch a product, you used to keep a budget of maybe crore plus only for visibility for 2 months. After that is over. This kind of thing is zero cost, but impactful visibility in retail outlets. So one has to think how to make stories inside the outlet, how to win inside the outlet. I think otherwise you will not be able to win the game of business. Second thing is, what do you want to achieve? What is your goal in that particular outlet? So you have to define your route to market and then check like fish for where fishes are, right? End of the day, if I have what I call, I have created a subcategory which is for fragrances for doing puja. What do we use for doing puja? Camphor, loban, saffron, okay? And there's a flower called champa in East. So these are fragrances which is used in doing puja. I said, don't burn, just spray. This is called Space Purify, the scent of India. And for this kind of product, it becomes a door opener because it's a new story. Second, for the puja-based outlet which sells agarbatti, this product sells. So I get an entry into new category, new channel of outlets. Then once I enter with that product, I start moving with my 2-3 more products. So I think that's what we are doing, and that's the story we are building. Of course, observe the competition, what is working for them. Not necessarily you need to copy all of them, understand the margins because you have to be competitive at each level. And you have to see that product market distribution fit is important. So we created a template which I call mission, vision, values, sales strategic objective. So my sales team has a mission which is to bring joy in consumers' life by crafting happy experiences with a product wherever they are. Vision for sales team is to be the most trusted sales organization, delivering optimum value to customers through execution excellence. Then sales strategy objective to be X turnover in 5 years, how many outlets, where will you be, revenue per person, what will be. So we have some goals put in. So because if you don't have goals, especially in sales, it doesn't work. Sales people are meant or trained with sales goal. So if you have sales goal, it is for them to see, it is easier for them to score. So we build this template and circulated them. So every meeting we do, this is told to them and so that they remember. Other important thing is how do we get good people working for you? It is definitely the biggest challenge of currently. What happens is different types of people is today the new generation of salespeople don't work as good as want to work as with as mental makeup as what previous team used to do. It was a completely persistent driven sales and relationship driven. Today people assume it is technology driven. So if you do once, it will happen next. It doesn't happen. So they're shortcutting a lot of this relationship game, but end of the day, relationship still works because I said 1 crore retailers plus is hungry for good stories, hungry for relationship, which they had built their business. So versus the new generation, which keeps on moving from one company to other. So they're not able to build a relation. So as a character, you'll find there are 3 types of people. One who is a hunter, one who is a farmer, and one who is the For a company like me, I have to find hunters who goes and plays the products and keeps on doing it till he able to do. Then once you are a little bit established, then the second person does and does the repeat of sales of the product. But that's not enough, because you need fast growth, new product category, you will need someone who will do moonshotting. So 3 types of people is what you need to build a system. How do you do that is the question you have to discover and make it happen. And I say 3 skills are required: ASK, attitude, skills, and knowledge. Attitude is the most important. Skill and knowledge I can train, or he can come and learn. But attitude you cannot. Attitude is what you should look for. And for a startup, he has to always be a happy optimist, because every day is a tough day. It is never easy to hunt. It is like in the forest. You don't get to hunt every day, and you may come back without getting what you want to get. So you have to be optimist. The next day will be better, and even better as you go along. So those kind of people with good attitude makes a huge difference in the ecosystem. Today, I have around 80 sales people, out of which 70% will be 45 plus. So people ask, is it good? Is it bad? Or is it ugly? I say they are the most stable people. The remaining 30%, 50% turnover in every 6 months or maybe 8 months. So how they will get the brand, the IKIGROW culture, how they will get the IKIGROW brand identity, how will get the brand knowledge. By the time they start learning, they have moved on to some better company, sometimes worse company, whichever it may be. But the 70% of the team continues to be there, even though they're old. So I think it has to be a mixed balance between experience and youth. What is the right weightage? As of now, we are experimenting. And as usual, being a startup, we'll continue to experiment. I'm happy to have experienced people, because if Biden wanted to become president at 80, right? So if people is 45, to me, if a good person comes, he is as good another 25 years to go, which is equivalent to his career in life, right? So experience is a good value, which today most of the companies don't give. So I give a lot of weight to experience, provided he has the knowledge of understanding profitability, business, building relationships, and those kind of things. So for us, it is about winning at the point of sale, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's a point of retail, anywhere. If you don't win at the point of sale, you lose. Because people ask me, how do we advertise for a small company when you are not a distributor? I say the most important task is to win at the point of sale. Do whatever it takes within the area where your product is present. I may create awareness, but if the customer goes and looks for the product and is not available, then the worst thing you can do, because next time he's not going to even think of your brand. So I keep on telling people, please do activation, please do activity at point of sale. So it is about being in the right location, right outlet, and use insights and knowledge which you gather from market, capture them and integrate into your business model. I say the power of micro influencer. Who is my micro influencer in this case? It is mainly the retailer. Because if he is convinced, he will do your selling. I was just having last week a very interesting conversation with my team. I was telling them, I have just launched a batch for her women's perfume, and 90% of my retailer are men. So you are making the man, which is the retailer, smell your woman's perfume. He decides the fate of your product, right? So how do you change him and bring to your side? He talks about it. So what we tell them is the story. I have a gift box, which I call the gift of love. So the perfume inside are named Angel, Honey, Love, Queen. So what you do, go and give to the retailer, tell this is for your wife, your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, whoever, XYZ. Give it to her, give it to him, and tell him to smell first, and then give him a box. So he will definitely go and give it. So once he gives it to the person he loves, give the one he loves, I think if the by product, I'm very confident about the perfumes which we're giving, the story comes in back. Oh, I like love, I like queen, I like honey, I like angel, which is the story. So, and that it repeats, and that's how I am building the next stage of journey for a perfume brand in India through an influencer, which is a male influencer. I'm not doing normal to a perfume outlet, you spray in a paper and making smell. You can't do that. The retailer will recommend. And when he takes the product, I make him into my poster boy, post in digital, and he gets coverage in media. He loves it. He loves being a mini celebrity. He himself circulates to his friends, himself circulates. So there are campaigns which has gone up to 40,000 views to 70,000 views because of that. So one, my campaign goes through. Second, he becomes an influencer. Third, if his wife or girlfriend likes it, I bought in a permanent customer inside the house. Forget external. And it's bound to happen because someone has convinced him. When someone tells you, I like it, so people will love that. So you have to find your stories to build at retailer level. So my complete focus is to make the retailer a happy man with all the margins. So I call the IKIGROW advantage. One, you have to have three things. One is the brand, which is center and core, which has to have good sensorials, good design, simple story, all that. And second success story of the brand is if there's repeat sale coming again and again, then you have a success story. So you can build around that. Third, you find subcategories where you can be number one. So that's one part of the story. The second part of the story is the ecosystem you build. Ecosystem is your working model. I have a cash model. So it is a zero cash model. People pay cash to take my product. Second, I have an ecosystem of production house, my CFA points, my distributors, my retailers, and my set of customers and e-commerce. The third point is my brand storytelling. So that ecosystem, I'm very strongly present. Even though I'm not present on strong, what you call outdoor media or TV, my digital media campaigns is working well as of now. And the third is my team, who are, I told you, 70% or 60% is above 45 plus. They continue to do the job. They are taking advantage of the relationship they have built over the years. And that here you are seeing one guy delivering the products to the retailer, even his own motorcycle. So the ownership is quite extensively there, and I'm building a team of owners who would build this business and build a legacy brand in future. So I say, create a tribe of IKIGROWers and the ecosystem will make money. So when this product sell, this is where you, on the right-hand side, your ecosystem will make money, whether it's a margin. As your volume goes up, you get better pricing. And as your distribution becomes better, you can increase your range of products to make higher value throughput in a particular outlet. I can tell you an outlet which to buy 5,000 rupee worth of goods is buying 40,000 worth of goods in a month. It means my throughput has increased. The more the throughput increase, the more efficient I become and more value I create. So ecosystem is going to make money. I don't say brand is going to make money. Ecosystem is what will go to money. So any distribution system lends up being an ecosystem driven model, which is a part of the entire ecosystem. So distribution is an very integral part of an ecosystem which will help you to make money. The last slide is this. I am leaving that part there. Now I leave it open for Q&A, any questions which you have. I think I touch more on marketing rather than distribution, I suppose.
Thanks, Ranju. Uh, any questions to Ranju? Please feel free to raise your hand and ask your question. I know there are a lot of students out here, students of marketing. I think you should use this opportunity to kind of gain some valuable insights from Ranju. So please go ahead and ask your questions.
You don't have to limit yourself to distribution. You can ask any questions about business.
Yeah, absolutely. Correct. So Ranju, let me ask the first question to you. I mean, which is one Indian company which you feel has perfected this art of distribution? You know, whether
I think
it can be.
I think the first two companies come to my mind, Indian companies. One is Wipro, which continues to do well.
Okay.
They did this. In fact, I draw a lot of inspiration from Wipro as an organization, how they are
Okay.
stable, how they build brand regionally and then grew, became nationally. Today, they have acquired so much company, 10,000 crore business. The second company at certain point of time did well was Fog. But with the changes in management, there is a bit of confusion because stability has been disrupted. When you go from a owner-driven model, which was very stable and sensitive about distribution parameters, to a PE company which brings in high-profile marketing team, what happens? There is a discontinuous engagement and differences of opinion between how to do marketing, how to do sales. Because I firmly believe all business is 50% marketing and 50% sales. So you have to give your respect to sales team with whatever challenges you like or don't like what they do.
Okay. What about ITC with their long reach, especially
ITC?
with their long reach, especially with the cigarettes.
ITC is you are right, but they are more actually they started mostly with pan cigarette outlets. Okay.
Okay.
I think their whole direction was based on pan cigarette, which was roughly some categories would be around 15 to 20% of the sale. So that's a good approach to have because that's a strength. But when you start building in other channels like grocery and all, it takes time to build. I think now they're getting it right. Even the own products, which initially was different, now has better brand balance between branding and storytelling and the products. I think they have done a much better job in last 5-6 years. And that's why you are seeing the good growth in their consumer goods space.
Okay.
So I think they're doing well now. I would say that.
Okay. People, any more questions to Ranju? No questions? I'm really surprised. Everybody is an expert in
Either they have
marketing.
understood too much or didn't understand anything. One of these two, I don't know which one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
So thank you, Ranju, for taking the time and doing this for the Advertising Club of Madras. It's always nice to hear, senior executives, senior professionals, especially somebody like you who was working in the corporate sector and now dons the hat of an entrepreneur and is really applying the learnings in real life situation now. And I think there's one more question. I'll just read out this question.
What is the benefits?
What are the benefits and drawbacks of using big data and artificial intelligence in distribution and marketing?
I have a funny take on this. I say Indian consumers are AIV. I said they're very aware, they're very intelligent, and they're value seeking. So, okay, that jokes apart. So,
Okay.
I think data is important. See, today, but data is not easily available, right? So each company has, even though you buy Nielsen, if you don't have, which is one source of data, one of the key source of data in this country, Nielsen data,
Correct.
even if your brand or category doesn't have more than 90% penetration, you will never have good data. They say they have good, but there is always will be a fight why your market share drops, why your this thing drops, because like e-commerce, you don't get the data, right? Quick commerce, you will not get data. Direct company sales, you will not get data. So if 20-30% of some category, like perfumes for that matter, if today the new Indian perfume players are selling mainly through the e-commerce and little bit through distribution, you will have no data, right? So how do you plan using data for that kind of intelligence and new categories? So it's difficult. But AI definitely helps in marketing. I think what AI does is to get intelligence of what is happening in a particular category and how, as a human being, you can understand that information better and use it for marketing. I don't use, my agency uses AI quite a bit on making creatives for my company. And we have done wonderfully. Some of the creatives got global recognition for air care. I think it is how you brief what you want, how you want to use. If your brief is wrong, they can churn out garbage. If you are right, they will help you to think much better and be more effective in your storytelling and even in creativity. But ultimately, end of the story is about emotion. You don't sell the days of selling performance-based product is gone. It is more about what emotion you are able to bring it into your customers, his needs, and serve his needs once. So I think need, pains, and wants, whatever you want to solve. So if you're able to do that better with better storytelling, I think there's a fair chance you have success. So AI will help, but if you use it wrongly, it may not solve your problem.
Okay. So thank you. Hope that answered that gentleman's question. One more question.
How can I ensure that my data collection analysis factories are compliant with relevant regulations? That's a tricky question. Regulations keep on changing. Analysis, here I think you are talking about personal information. I think that's a tricky question. Is if it involves privacy of people, you have to be extremely careful. Because today data is available, who you are buying the data from, and how you are going to use that information. See, the problem is when you use Facebook, Instagram, anything, you are sharing your behavior. And with AI intelligence, they know what is your interest, and they will push you, and they can hear your voice. You talk about holiday, they will push the campaign on holiday, whether you like it or don't like it. So there is a privacy concern, which will become more and more, but it is we as human beings are the product in that case for all the digital mediums. I think there are experts in digital here in this group, so more than me. But what I completely understand is that we are the ones who are giving this data. We are the ones using and sharing our likes, dislikes, how we move, how our fingers move. I think that part is a privacy concern. So one has to be careful while using that. I can only say you have to be careful. There's nothing right or wrong.
Okay. Thank you. Any more questions? Okay.
Yep.
So, I had actually started the vote of thanks when two questions came in, Ranju, so that's okay.
Before you leave, I was just wanting to tell one more thing. See,
Yeah.
if you look at laws of this country, let's say the packaging laws, simple, right?
Yeah.
Looks simple. Everything is normally will pass through legal and everything will go. Now they keep on changing. And if you are not in line and in track, I had a problem. Normally we write to customer complaint, right? Full stop and then give
Yeah.
number and address. But you have to put customer complaint executive.
Okay.
If you don't write, then the people will catch you. Why didn't you write? And then they will give you notice.
Oh, okay.
That as simple as that.
Okay.
You are compliant, but half compliant. Half compliant doesn't work.
Okay.
So you learn all these things in real life, and you go through it when someone gives a query and then files a notice. Then you realize, oh, you have to change. And change in FMCG product is mammoth. It means 60 days plus products in markets. All process goes on.
Correct. No. So here's one more question. I mean, I personally wanted to ask. Now every brand which comes, every new product which gets launched, wants to build the brand quickly, right? Unlike they don't want to wait. They don't want to run a marathon. They just want to just get ahead and probably with a sprint and build a brand. So is that a good way to go about it?
See, it is about the story you tell. If your product is great and delivers value, and customers are buying in the buying cycle, they mean, like you see, to some category, if I take air freshener, it's a 3 months to 5 months cycle, air freshener.
Okay.
Right? If I take a soap, it's a 15-day cycle. So what happens is, if your product cycle is 3 months and you want to sell quickly, so you need more number of consumers buying your product than the same customer coming in again and again. Maybe 30% will be buying regularly every 3 months. So if you want to grow 100%, you imagine how many more number of customers you need next month.
Correct.
So I think you need to understand the category much better to drive growth. What happens is normally people get greedy, assuming that first time purchase is the translating into regular purchase. Like if today in e-commerce, what happens? You give discount, it's become a discounting game. I give 1+3 offer. 1 DO you buy, get 3 small DOs. You get it. Then you realize actually it is not what you want, because out of that 3, maybe 1 you like and 2 you don't like. Now that 2 will be inside the household, right?
Okay.
When you buy a perfume box, there are 4 perfumes which come in, they call it discovery set. But discovery means if you like 1, you don't like 3.
Correct.
So the next buying cycle, he will look for only that kind of product, or he'll try second new brand, right? So I think it is a very interesting set of experimentation which is going in, and that is resulting in discontinuous growth. According to me, it is more important to enter a household through your cycle. Like if I say air care, I say when the woman gets up in the morning, her bathroom should smell good. When she does puja, the puja room should smell. When she gets into the car should smell good. When she gets into office, she gets the smell in the office. When he comes back and holds party in the evening and friends come, her smell should be good. If he is having a pet, the pet odor should not be there. And when he goes to sleep, the person who goes to sleep should get enough nice smelling fragrance that she can be going to sleep. So if I'm getting into the same household, then I have a better chance of success. Otherwise, getting different consumers for different products.
Okay. So, Ranju, before we sign off, one last question here from GEC Trichy, Arush Sami. He says, how can I optimize my e-commerce website for better user experience and conversion rates?
I think the hunt is on. This is the most difficult one everybody looks for.
Okay.
I think I think if you are able to grab with your story and it matches with the customer needs, you have a fairer chances of conversion. I think till now, most of the people are telling discounts or selling offers. Yes, you will get some segment of users who will buy into those offers, but when he's asking for more optimized experience, I think it is about the storytelling, which creatively you must understand customer wants. If he is I say P and need pain points, and if you are able to give solutions, and if it solves well, he or she will come and buy again. It aligns. So until unless that is true, physically in the net, it is, I think it is about world of net, it is more about storytelling. Whether it is short videos, whether it is your one photo which you pull telling every story, I think then there is a fair chance of conversion. If you look at success stories, either he has come earlier, that is one reason, and second is if he has a good story, then the chances of success. I firmly believe good storytelling, singular storytelling helps. And today everybody is sort of clean packaging, clean story definitely helps. That's my take on e-commerce.
So thank you so much. And so once again, Ranju, thanks for taking time and sharing your valuable experiences and insights. I think an hour was well spent. Though I know you would go on and on for a long time for the lack of time. Thank you once again for doing this, and thank you all for attending this. And I also like to thank the Advertising Club Secretariat Office for coordinating the entire presentation and making sure that it went without glitch. So thank you guys, and see you in another edition of InsightView series soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
And thank you, Ranju. It was a pleasure, and we look forward to having you soon in Chennai.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Probably, do one session in person. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.